is. Like it's absolutely. I was really surprised. Like, was wondering why they were called 9Hands, and apparently one of the players actually plays with, what is it, prosthetic?
Yeah. It looks like one of the players has only one hand.
Yeah,
only one hand. Yeah, the other arm. I'm not sure if there's a prosthetic. But
absolutely awesome, man. And that brings us now to our picks. Going for the first round of bans is Batrider for Team Sand and Caudle for 9Hands. So there's nothing surprising, not much we can maybe say about that. But I'm kind of banking on the ban of the Storm Spirit because. Oh no, was it Storm Spirit? No, that was for
Saito.
Yeah,
Storm Spirit.
Yeah, so maybe if we see a rematch between Sand and Saito, depending on how this one goes, maybe we'll see that ban. But yeah, absolutely no surprise here once again for Rubrik being banned. Maybe we can talk about Rubrik.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously Rubik versus versatile hero. You don't see him too often in that first ban phase. But, I mean, it's never a bad choice. I mean, if you let the other team steal that Rubik, I mean, he can do some damage. You know, taking devastating ults, turning things around. You know, Lena's ult, Lion's ult.
Anybody's ult.
Darkseer's ult. Not even ultimates, even just, like, normal spells. I mean, it certainly is something that's that you need to be aware of. And, curiously enough, there's no Wisp, no Magnus, no Darkseer out of these primary bans. There is the Nyx, there is the Rubik, and again, those usually aren't first ban material. So we'll see what happens here from this opening pick round.
I kind of find it's interesting too that Lifestealer's been banned because I haven't seen too many players being very successful with them in this tournament. I mean,
yeah.
I'm kind of surprised. Now this is exciting. Nyx is usually one of the heroes that we always see banned, but we're actually going to see him in action finally for the first time in this tournament this afternoon. So you know, we have a lot of exciting things that this hero has to offer. Like, I think one of the most broken spells in this game is the Carapace.
Yeah,
absolutely broken because. It's
very powerful.
It's so powerful, and it's just the fact that it stands up so long and reflects that damage and stuns. It's like I can put up with his stun, the impale, the mana burn, and the vendetta. But the Carapace, it's broken.
Yeah, it's certainly a very powerful hero. We will get to see some Nyx Assassin play, but. As far as Magnus and Gyro going back the other way, I mean, no big surprise. Gyro very versatile. You know, he can play carry. You know, he can push.
He's like a jack of all trades kind of guy, right?
Essentially. Very, very popular in the current meta. But to go back to your old point about the Lifestealer, you're right. The Lifestealer hasn't been played a whole lot today. It's in the current meta game. I mean, the Lifestealer with the built-in VKB gives him that support disabled protection. That's usually fairly crucial in a lot of team fights. I could see why that makes him an appealing pick, and in this case, a first-round ban. Sand does not want to see him, and I guess for good reason too. So 9Hands, obviously, they do have their next. They're going to be looking towards, you know, their carry. They're going to be looking ahead. I mean, a couple carries left in the pool here. They do take the Shadow Demon, so looks like they have a couple supports locked down already.
Love the Shadow Demon. I'm a big fan of him. Like I can't play him worth crap, but I mean, just seeing him in action, like he is a fantastic support hero. I think you were talking about this in a previous match.
Yeah,
he really scales very well, especially in the later games.
Yeah, arguably the best scaling support hero, and that's what makes him so good. I mean, his skills are all very usable. I mean, his disruption can be used offensively, defensively, great versatility, and you're right, great scaling. So he's an all-around solid support.
Very solid indeed. And we're waiting on the third pick now for 9Hands. Who do you think they're going to go for in terms of like carry? I mean, like, you know, to complement the Nyx Assassin, Shadow Demon, like, do you see them going for like maybe CK or Sven perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, Sven would be more of like an early game style. I could see maybe. There's a variety of picks that are, the pool is still definitely wide open. I mean, we haven't reached the second ban phase, but I mean, as far as like just taking a look at carries they could pick, all sorts. And there's one of them right there, Lone Druid. I mean, he does have the 6 slot. The bear very effective. Great for if he wants to early push. If they're going for that early push, we did see that earlier in the tournament.
First match, if I recall correctly. It was a Sacred Relic on him, Armlet. That bear, that was
certainly a devastating bear. Yeah. And usually a Lone Druid, you see him in the off lane oftentimes. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a solo off lane Druid, and working as the hard carry, getting that early XP, that early CS, and we'll see how that kind of goes out here as Team Sand dips into their reserve time. as far as now, just taking a look at Team Sand, they got the mag, they got the gyro. You think they're looking more for support / disables? Like, what do you think is the next piece of the puzzle for them?
Well, the Magnus, we're looking at one of the most devastating ults in the game, that RP, and it really complements the Gyrocopter's ult with that call down, right? So, I'm thinking they're going to be going for a carry that can pretty much clean up any damage that has been done by these two ults, and I can also see like another massive ult, perhaps coming from Tidehunter or another hero that could complement setting up those ults, such as Naga. With the song, right?
I was gonna say, even if you want Jakiro, I mean,
Jakiro, the Ice Path.
Yeah, decent with the macro pyre there. I mean, that's perfect for AoE. You get them trapped, you macro pyre down. It's crazy.
We're talking about big ults right there. Queen of Pain being the third pick. That's her ult being the Sonic Wave. It's just so much damage. I mean, like, by the time she's level 3, you're looking at 600 damage. And of course, with an Aghanim Scepter, even it's just basically every minute, at her disposal. So, and there you go.
Yeah,
you're looking at that ban.
I'm not sure if they were listening to us, but you see the Lina and the Jakiro both being banned out here. Great solid supports. They have reliable disables. They can deal a lot of damage in a hurry. And just to go back to the Quap pick, and there you go. I mean, Quap, she's can fulfill that semi-carry role. She's great in the mid game, and she has some great nukes. Great versatility. You put her up mid, she's going to be able to control those runes, provided that it's just a 1v1 and she's left alone. So the Quap there is certainly a solid pickup. It's certainly a solid pickup. They're going to look for things to kind of complement that team comp with the Quap and with the gyro. And as we see some more bans, we see the Leshrac ban and we see the Undying ban.
Undying, yeah.
Yeah, and you team fight monster, that guy.
Oh, he's huge. I mean, like, removing Undying, you're removing a Tombstone, which has that slow effect, and of course the damage from the zombies that come out of it. And also it's the debilitating abilities that he has as well, like, taking away the strength and stamina of the heroes that he's opposed against. So, yeah, no surprise there seeing him banned. So, but this is going to be leading us to our fifth and final ban. What hero do you think they could really take away from Sand right now that's going to disrupt this comp?
Right now, Team Sand they have a fairly open composition, so I don't know if it's a matter of restricting. I think it would be more so 9Hands has got to think what is the absolute one hero they do not want to play against. I mean, even they could be taking a look at their own team comp or taking a look at what counters them and see the disruptor ban there. So they know that okay, they do have their semi carry, they do have their potential hard carry. Let's get rid of some utility guys. I mean, we get caught in a disruptor. I mean, you could lead to skewer RP into disruption field. There's the call down. I mean, disruptor also too. That silences ult. Yeah,
a lot of people they he does have that static field, but that ult, that damaging ult that does the silence, like that takes away. Taking away any of the skills and abilities for Neek's Assassin, Shadow Demon, right? So it's just one less concern that they have, and it's very well put. You consider what is the one hero you don't want to be playing against, and I think Disruptor's a pretty wise pick.
and so it's clear at this point 9Hands is certainly looking to, at least with those last couple bans, they're looking to limit the versatility or the ways in which they can be kind of corralled, especially in a team fight. Because I mean, if Nyx goes around, Sand has to be careful, because when you look at someone like a Nyx Assassin, he can easily melt a support. He gets that high level Dagon. He goes around with his Vendetta, a poke into a stun into a Dagon, and that's all she wrote for your supports if they're
just
ever on their
own.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how Nyx works well. So, and we do see as the Lion Band comes out on the other side. So both teams, they do have their carries, and it looks like they're kind of trying to ban out those support type heroes. We'll see if based on both teams what they already picked. I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised to see something unorthodox. 9Hands actually just beat me to it. Picking up that Invoker, it's been a long time coming since he's been a major part of the metagame, and I mean that was based on some nerfs and stuff to him.
And a Bane.
Yeah, there's the Bane. There was someone in chat who actually saw. They mentioned Bane would be a sweet pickup. Bane is a sweet pickup for a lot of teams. I mean, a great utility dude, and he's great. And the Juggernaut pick by 9Hands as well. Yeah,
this is definitely we've not seen anything like this.
So it looks like 9Hands has certainly gone with a very unorthodox type matchup.
Magi.
And there you go. There's Ogre Magi, or Ogre Magi. Sorry.
Wow.
And And you know, it's because the Bane and the Ogre Magi work towards crowd control. Ogre Magi, he's devastating in that laning phase, obviously being a hard support.
It's all about that skill
shot. Yo, that's it, man. All about the skill with him. But in all seriousness, I suppose it's funny. I was thinking about odd picks, and 3 out of the last 4 picks were unorthodox type picks, especially for these for the prior compositions we see. And I think the reason for that is because both teams looking to try something new. I mean, you look at 9Hands. It's like they essentially have 2 carries there. They have the Jug and the Druid. You look up top. It's, you know, they have the Gyro. They have the mid game carry, but Ogre Magi, he's not taken that often. I mean, him and Bane and Magnus are really going to crowd control and just keep things down. That might have been their answer, because maybe Team Sand wanted Disruptor, but they couldn't get him because he was banned out. So maybe their next best bet was Ogre Magi. Not too sure.
Well, I'm sensing right now a lot of excitement for the viewers that are watching this match. Just reading the live chat right now, we're going into, I think, what's going to be a pretty sweet matchup. The finals in our loser bracket is just about to begin, and of course, as is the theme for today, for whatever reason, lots of pauses. So we're going to be taking a moment, using this time to call out exactly who is playing who. Would you like to begin with 9H?
Yeah, and so 9Hands on the Radiant side. There will be Big Booty Boy playing the Nyx Assassin. Ryan's going to be on that Invoker. Explicit playing the Jugsy. Baboons is on the Shadow Demon, and Delka playing that Lone Druid. We're going to see lane. We're going to see early item builds, and we're going to see some lane pickups and things like that. Who's going to be allocated where in the early game?
So looking over at Sandan right now, we have S and JZA playing Bane, S and Clay Tenation playing Ogre Magi, S and playing well, he's still picking a hero. Who were we missing? Invoker. Oh no, not playing Invoker. What am I saying?
No, on that side there was the Gyrocopter.
The Gyrocopter. So most likely, yes. He will be playing Gyrocopter. Net Effects, S and 1990 will be playing Magnus. S and K Puno 47 America playing Queen of Pain. So, yeah, Ogre Magi, just pure skill. I'm enjoying what I'm reading here in chat. It's all about the skill shot. I love playing Ogre Magi, especially when you get Aghanim Scepter, and it's just amazing. And if anybody heard that, I'm working on my second Red Bull.
Yeah, hey, gotta stay energized just like these players. But yeah, Ogre Magi certainly a risky type pick. You don't see him played a whole lot. I mean, he is all about. I mean, does have the slow, does have the disable. I mean, you know, buffs his teammates.
The Bloodlust. Bloodlust is crazy. I mean, it's, I don't know. Bloodlust would be really. I could see it benefiting Magnus. Well, actually, yeah, with Magnus right now, you're looking at a nice little combo of Empower and Bloodlust. I mean, if you have that on Quap or Gyrocopter, that's going to be a lot of fun to see how they're going to do.
We'll see. Maybe that works in synergy with the Flat Cannon there. But there's Captain Bamboo.
Captain Bamboo!
There's Captain Bamboo. He's a really good courier. He's an amazing courier.
He just came out recently, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Last patch. Yeah. That's awesome. So it looks like Ogre Magi and Gyrocopter, they're going to be heading their way down to that bottom lane. Tri-lane being formed up right now. Shadow Demon, Juggernaut, Quad. It looks like they're going for an early first blood. They're being followed by Invoker, and look at the gear that Invoker has. That's pretty sweet. I like the hood.
Yeah, that's the hood. You can't even see his face in the little portrait at the bottom there.
It's really menacing, eh?
Yeah, man.
Scary.
You don't see Invoker too much anymore. I mean, yeah, looks like he's going to be heading with the rest of his team, minus the Lone Druid, all heading top. So they're going to see if they can pick off anyone. They're probably going to ward up that jungle, see if they can pick off anyone.
And look at this. This is just some really nice awareness right now. 30 seconds before the match starts, but we have Magnus right up here. I don't know, like if you are Magnus right now, you have basically the entire team, you know, just waiting in the woods. What are you thinking? Like, I guess. He has no idea right now, obviously. There's no wards up or anything, but you think he has that sense?
He might. He's just camping out in lane. And I mean, usually you see Magnus, one of those heroes, especially in the current meta, he can play anywhere. Usually you see him either mid or in the hard lane. And so interesting that he is going into the safe lane for Team Sand. And I'm not sure who's going to be rolling with them, or maybe there's a switch, or I'm not too sure exactly what's happening there. But I mean, with that right there, I don't think he's really looking for a fight in the jungle. I mean, he's on his own. I don't think.
Right on. So yeah, it looks like Magnus doesn't really have anything to be concerned about now, because 9Hands, they are making their way down to the bottom lane. And there's some foes to be met there. Ogre Magi, Gyrocopter, and Bane waiting in the woods. We do have possibly something unfolding right now. Juggernaut, Shadow Demon, Neeks coming in right now, going against Bane, Ogre Magi. Will they engage? Disruption casted by Shadow Demon. Neeks Assassin missing the Impale. Juggernaut getting his cast off the Blade Fury. There's a little bit of a mix-up, I think, with the timing there. And fortunately for Team Sand, they're going to be okay. They're going to walk away from that one unscathed.
Yeah, that Nyx Assassin there, he definitely whiffed his stun there. Looked like they wanted to stack that, but
just a little too soon.
Yeah.
Just let out a little too soon. A little eager, I guess. But look at this. We have Gyrocopter with a Haze True, and he's making his way up to that top lane area to go against that lone Druid. Not much really to be said. He's safe here. That Invoker's going to be going against this Queen of Pain. No big surprise. They're very good mid-lane heroes for ganks. But look at this. We have a smoke casted by Shadow Demon and Neeks Assassin. They're going to be going in, trying to get a hit on Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain getting disrupted by Shadow Demon. Nice Sunstrike there by will miss the Queen of Pain. She blinks out of there, and once again, a little too soon by 9Hands. The timing's a little off.
That one, it wasn't so much timing, but that's what makes Queen of Pain viable, especially as mid, and that's why she's so good in the early to mid game. Because I mean, she's tough to kill, just like an anti-mage, tough to kill. So you kind of just gotta let them do their thing, unless you have a surefire gank. You make sure you can stack your stuns perfectly, and you're good to go. Because you give her that split second to blink, and like we just saw, especially level 1, level 2, early times of the game, and that's it. She'll get away.
Definitely, she will get away. We have a tri-lane up here now. Up top, Neeks Assassin, Shadow Demon going with that Lone Druid against Gyrocopter and Ogre Magi and the Bane.
Yeah, these lane setups seem to be... I think before maybe, they were kind of waiting for the dust to settle. They were feeling the other opponent out, and now the dust certainly settled, because you see the Mag. He's down there 1v1 against the Jug. And mid, you have Invoker, for surely, against the Quap.
Oh, yeah. That's not going to change. For sure. So, with that said, tri-lane versus tri-lane up top. We're just passing the 2-minute mark of our match. 0-0, 9Hands versus Sand. This is our final matchup in the loser's bracket.
Yeah, you see that Bear he's able to tank a lot of hits. With that, I mean, the Bear is going to cause problems, I think, in that tri-lane as far as against Team Sand. Certainly, you're able to, if you just take a quick look there, the Bear is able to be really aggressive, help push things out.
Gotta love the Bear.
Yeah, score some last hits. And, without really putting any risk to any of the heroes. I mean, obviously losing the Bear is a pretty big deal.
It hurts.
But I mean, it's not the end of the world.
No.
Not the end of the world.
Absolutely not. And this is one thing I do love, seeing the camp stacked. You see what Ogre Magi is doing right here. Such a huge help out for his team members. Also to himself, too, if that's going to be his bread and butter for farm, while the other two, Bane and Gyrocopter, farm away in the lanes. So really like seeing that. Going back to the mid lane, we do have Queen of Pain sitting on 13 hits against Invoker's 13 hits, so they are pretty much toe-to-toe right now in terms of their farm. Going down to the bottom lane right now, we have Juggernaut with 14 last hits, 9 denies. It's a very key stat right there. Those denies do add up. Going against Magnus's only 6 last hits and 1 deny. First blood being drawn by Invoker. That was Gyrocopter who was taken down by Invoker.
Yeah,
and
I think that was with the Sunstrike.
The Sunstrike, yeah, that was pretty key right there. Good map awareness by Invoker, keeping an eye on his opposing foes.
Yeah, it looked like it was a Sunstrike there. You never count out that global presence. I mean, Sunstrike does take a little bit extra, like as far as cast time's concerned. As we see Invoker falling below 6-8. He's very, very low. The Queen of Pain going in close. And yes, that poison will take him down. Queen of Pain does have her bottle up. She's able to bottle up and even this game up 1 aside.
Yeah, 1-1 is the score. So tit for tat, Invoker got a little piece of Yeah, he got in a little bit of trouble there himself. We see Queen of Pain casting that
bottling.
Haste Rune right now, not bottling it actually.
Yeah.
She's casted it.
Yeah.
Juggernaut now is under threat by this Magnus, and Queen of Pain, who's coming in there, blinks, casting that Shadow Strike on Juggernaut. It's not going to be enough to take him down, but definitely making him back off a little bit. She will make her way back up to that mid lane to go against, once again, against that Invoker.
Yeah, you look at that play there, Queen of Pain. She knows that, hey, this is Haste. She pings quickly to Magnus, saying, as we see the disruption go down here, here comes the Sunstrike stack.
Nice Sunstrike.
Yeah, and stacked that on top of the Sunstrike and the Nyx stun. And a couple right clicks, Lone Druid's going to clean up that mess.
Very clean play. That was an awesome play there by Invoker. Once again, stand-up play by that Sunstrike. Yeah. Really, we see Blue playing Neeks right now. That was a nice heads-up play, pinging. That was just getting the attention for Invoker to bring down that Sunstrike. Really good clean timing with that Shadow Demon's Disruption, the stun, the Sunstrike, all systems go. Great kill.
Yeah, Lone Druid did trade his bear in that exchange, but I mean, hey, hero for bear. Yeah.
Totally.
9Hands definitely thinking it's worth it at this point here. But again, great awareness. Invoker, I suppose maybe they did grab Invoker for that, because you do see he does have the extort heavy build there, and that's ideal if you want to go for the Sunstrike. Yep. And so trying to keep up that global presence.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see that probably like for quite a while now, like next 10-15 minutes at least of this match. Just reaching the 6 minute point of the match with the 2-1 lead for 9Hands early going in this matchup, and I'm excited to see how this whole thing's going to unfold. Shadow Demon getting that disruption off on Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi taking a lot of damage. Rocket Barrage casting on Lone Druid, but there's that Sunstrike again. Yeah. But they do trade killing blows there, because Lone Druid did get caught up under that flat cannon by Gyrocopters, so they went 1-for-1 there. But once again, Invoker is really stepping up and keeping his eye on the map and paying attention to those pings, getting the Sunstrike, earned himself another kill.
Yeah, it does feel a little old school seeing all those Sunstrikes, all over the map there. It was a 1-for-1 trade, and so I mean, it didn't go. I mean, it didn't go quite the way that 9Hands was exactly expecting. As we see, the Queen of Pain pop that illusion rune. In that encounter there, I mean, you trade your Lone Druid for the Ogre Magi there. Unsure how I feel about that right now, but it's just the back and forth of the early game.
Tit for tat right
Such
now,
as
it
Dota.
seems. Yeah, and it definitely. I was seeing a ward going up in that bottom rune there for some more map vision for the Dire side. And this tri-lane, it's pretty interesting. There's so much activity right now happening with the neutral camp area. I like seeing a lot of the stacks happening right there. Mid lane right now, Invoker and Queen of Pain still going against each other. Queen of Pain just picking up that, I believe, her magic wand now. And this is really... I kind of get the sense that both these tri-lanes are playing it safe, especially for Team Sand. Just knowing now, like the burn tan teaches best, you like to think, right? Because they've already suffered 2 Sunstrikes in a row, so they have to be particular and calculating their attack or their offensive. So I can see them kind of playing it safe right now for the next moment.
Certainly. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be a bit of a farm battle here. Curiously enough, Lone Druid not getting a whole lot of XP. As it looks like he's being invaded upon. Nyx, he's caught out a little bit, but he does have it. I see this cure going. There's the RP dropping on the Nyx assassin there. Oh man, Rocket Barrage going down. Here comes the Sunstrike, defensive Sunstrike. Queen of Pain's up there. She's got haste. She's gonna dip on out of here. Nyx assassin did drop. Now a big dive coming out here. The Shockwave catching two. Invoker goes there.
Nice disruption by Shadow Demon. Will Invoker live? No. He's been taken down. Now it's Magnus trying to get away from this, and they have overextended themselves. That tower might take down 1 or 2 of these heroes, but there is Juggernaut
and the Nyx.
And the Neeks getting in there in Ogre Magi's face. 4-4 buyback right now by that Invoker. I believe to get a Sunstrike offer too. But yeah, nice tit for tat, nice exchangements, but the only thing I'm a little thinking twice about was how they went past that tower there.
It certainly was a big dive. Yeah. They bit off quite a bit. They managed to chew most of it. But Jug coming from that bot lane to the top lane in order to help clean things up. Now we see Magnus in mid going against Invoker.
Interesting.
Yeah, a bit of a lane rotation. I don't think it's permanent. It looks like it's just in the interim. But I mean, Sand did come on top there. Now the score's all tied up, 4 apiece.
4 apiece, just entering the almost the 10-minute mark of our match. 9Hands versus Sand. Yeah, there is a ping right now. They have their eye on Gyrocopter, but look at this. Bane casting his ult on Shadow Demon. Nice Sunstrike there by Invoker. Will get a piece of Bane, not enough. There's Quap coming in. Now it's Juggernaut having to cast that healing rune, and it doesn't look like anybody's going to be falling except for that Shadow Demon for 9Hands. The only side suffering a casualty there.
Yeah. And now Slight Edge for Sand there. I mean, the Queen of Pain coming in, using that Scream of Pain there. She got the blink, has the versatility.
Nice.
Yeah, all around solid.
All around solid indeed. And we have nice pressure right now being put on that tier 1 top tower for Team Sand. We'll keep an eye on that tower, and coming back down to the bottom lane there is Juggernaut sitting on 44 last hits to 16 denies.
Yeah. And it looks like we're again back to the usual. 10 minutes in, I mean, Juggernaut at 46-16, Invoker as well, 46 last hits. Not bad, not bad. If Juggernaut's going to be your main carry, as we see some harassment on the bear, Juggernaut's going to be your main carry. I think he might need he needs to pick up a bit more of that CS, and I'm sure that was halted because he did have to go to the top lane to help in the team fight there. But if you get Juggernaut some kills, you get him some more CS, I'm sure things will get crazy.
Very crazy indeed. We see Magnus making his way up to that top lane. Does have reverse polarity all set and ready to go. We're going to see what might come out of this. And look at this, the Radiant kind of backing off, and it does appear that...
they spot the Magnus.
They do spot the Magnus. There's the Skewer coming in. RP on Neeks. Sunstrike, call down, all sorts of trouble. Shadow Demon going down. Neeks having to cast that Carapace. It won't be enough. He goes down as well. The Lone Druid's Bear taken out of the mix. 2 deaths right there for 9Hands. Big play by Team Sand.
Yeah, Magnus just with a sliver of health left, just able to just stretch out past that tower attack radius, turning into a 2-for-0 there for Team Sand. A great gank. That's certainly what they needed as we see the Jug push the bottom lane.
Yeah, that bottom lane, the Glyph Fortification being casted by Team Sand. I can't count these guys out, though. 9Hands, we're looking out at Juggernaut with 59 last hits. And if you leave a Juggernaut to farm,
he certainly can make you pay. Not the hardest of carries, but I mean, especially he tends to flourish in that mid-game type phase, especially if he gets a lot of early CS. I mean, but he does need it though. He certainly is very farm dependent. That's what carries do. But I mean, I say Jug a bit more than.
Right now, 9Hands, they definitely have an advantage for the last hits. Invoker and Juggernaut pretty much leading the way with 63 apiece right now. So we keep an eye on those numbers for you right now. This tri lane still tried, tested, and true. They are sticking together. They have their plan. That Spirit Bear being positioned to scope out and to scout any positional moves by the Dire side. Going down to the bottom lane right now is Magnus going against this Juggernaut and trying to stop him from free farming pretty much, which he has been pretty much from the beginning of the game. But look at this.
We do see the Queen of Pain coming in. She's got DD.
DD on Queen of Pain. Will she blink in there? We're going to see in a moment. There is Magnus. He has the Shockwave. Juggernaut, he is below 50% health and a little bit of trouble. You don't want to see all that free farming gold to go to waste. But look at this. There's the Queen of Pain. Shadow Strike. A little bit of trouble right now for Juggernaut. He goes into his Blade Fury. Will it be enough? Look at this. Forcing Queen of Pain to back off. Misses a reverse polarity as Magnus. Tower takes him down. Shadow Demon's right in there. Queen of Pain blinking out of there. Might be able to survive, but look at the Sunstrike! Oh my god!
Nice Sunstrike.
Beautiful Sunstrike by Invoker. That was amazing to see.
Yeah, Ryan there of 9Hands certainly coming up big. I mean, they did lose their tier 1 tower, but it turned into a 2-for-2 trade rather than a 2-for-1 loss there, and that is important. In the long game, they almost lost. 9Hands almost lost their courier there. I don't know if you saw. I took a couple whacks, but Magnus did turn around and did manage to get that RP off. I don't know if he would have caught up to that courier, but he certainly gave it a couple whacks, not enough to kill.
Yeah, that was an amazing Nice engagement right there. That was fun to see. Juggernaut still farming away right now. Has his phase boots and a blade. One of his blades. What do you think he's going to be going for in terms of items first?
I'm not too sure at this point. I think the blade probably going up for
Diffusal?
Maybe a Yasha. You need the blade
Sange
for
and
yeah,
Yasha.
yeah, the Yasha or yeah. We'll see how that goes. As we see the Magnus now in the mid lane.
Yeah, Magnus putting some good pressure against that tier 1 tower. Fortification being cast by 9Hands to stop any damage from any more damage for that tower. And right now we see Invoker dropping that meteor on Queen of Pain. Will take down Queen of Pain. Big play there. Neek's in there with the impale on Magnus. Magnus in all sorts of trouble. Disruption casted on him by Shadow Demon. He may be able to get away. He will. Pretty big play there, picking off that Queen of Pain.
Stole that Quap. This Invoker, man, he's doing some pretty good work here so far. Yeah, some great plays. 5-2. I mean, Sunstrike, a large part of that. And Sand did lose their tier 1 tower bottom lane. Juggernaut pushed that on his own.
All on his own, and yeah, it does look like he's going for a diffusal blade. Juggernaut. Interesting. Going back to the middle lane right now, Invoker, Shadow Demon, they're making a push for that mid tower. Well, no, actually just keeping the creeps at bay, it seems. Bane, Gyrocopter going down in that bottom lane to push that bottom tier 1 tower. Shadowblade on Gyrocopter now, so he's more of a threat now, being able to come and go as he plays in terms of vision. Bane going in there only with boots and a soul ring right now. Not much to be said about it, but you know, his abilities, that Fiend's Grip and Mind Zap, so much damage.
No, absolutely, yeah. Then the smoke goes up, so we'll see what they want to try and do here. Maybe some sort of smoke gank. There is 3 members of 9Hands in that bot lane, as you see the drawings on the mini map. Looks like they kind of want to sneak through that jungle, see if they catch anyone off guard. And Juggernaut does spot them out here. He's gonna.
Ogre Magi not opting for any points in Ignite, so no slow for him. For those kind of points, you know, that is the time when you'd want a point or two, I think, in an Ignite to slow your opponent down. But with that said, Invoker is up for grabs. But look at this. Tables have turned. Fiend's Grip on Juggernaut, called down by Gyrocopter. Reverse Polarity on Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon will be taken down. Also, Juggernaut in all sorts of trouble. But whoa, wait a second. That Blade Fury. Oh, so much damage. But Skewer by Magnus will take down that Juggernaut.
Yeah, and
big play.
And Invoker cleaning up that Gyrocopter as well. So 2-for-1 trade again. Invoker coming to bail his team out, make sure that things aren't completely against him there.
That's right.
Like softening it up right there is a 2-for-1 trade. Now we see 2 TPs going top. Looks like they want to save that tier 1 tower top. And as they go after the Lone Druid, the stun goes up on him. There's the Scream of Pain. There's the Bloodlust. There are more right clicks. Lone Druid, he's going to try and TP out of here. There's the Sonic Wave, and Queen of Pain will clean that up. She does have Cleave on her as well. Good map awareness. Great play by the Ogre Magi and the Queen of Pain.
That was really good, man. Those TPs never leave your fountain without one. I'm telling you, that's they pay dividends for investing that 125 gold. It just gives you that mobility to go from tower to tower, and it gives you that opportunity to get those kind of kills.
Yeah, it looked like maybe there was some sort of micromanagement or perhaps some sort of hesitation there, because it almost looked like Lone Druid stopped and maybe he was thinking about what to do or trying to make up his mind or something, and then he ended up TPing. So it was just kind of an unfortunate situation. He was caught. He was caught
indeed, and we just see Gyrocopter picking up that double damage rune. He's going to make his way in there, but look at this Invoker with a mega kill, just melting Magnus away with that with his meteor. Such a strong spell. Can't do much, if you're caught in that, right?
Yeah.
So
looks like Magnus just caught napping right there.
Caught napping, a little asleep right there. And look at this Gyrocopter. Looks like he's not going to go for that tower. They do have Juggernaut in their sights. Ult on Juggernaut. All sorts of trouble now with that Fiend's Grip on him. Queen of Pain dishing out some damage. Gyrocopter will be getting that kill. But look at this. Neeks taking down that Gyrocopter with the help with that Invoker Sunstrike. And now it's Neeks' Assassin, a little bit of trouble. He's trying to make his way back. Shadow Demon in pursuit of nothing now, it seems. But yeah, pretty big plays. Chance to deny that tower possibly. Magnus, though, wants a piece. Tornado of Death casted on Magnus. All sorts of trouble. That tower going to the likes of Queen of Pain.
There's the Bloodlust. Yeah, just showing you why Nyx is so good there. Able to get that stun off. They got that mana burn off there, and he was still able to live there. Queen of Pain realizes she was in too far. She had to back off just before that tower went down. Nyx demonstrating why he's so good.
So good. Absolutely so good. Just looking at Lone Druid's items right now. His bear, he's got a couple of items on him. That Orb of Venom.
An orb up on that bear, yeah.
It's getting there, I suppose. And Ogre Magi, he's making his way back down to that bottom lane. It looks like Team Sand, they want to push for that Tier 1 tower, which is really up for grabs, and I'm surprised it's still standing. It's deniable as it is, but
no denying there by the Lone Druid. Looks like Lone Druid just working on the jungle right now. He looks like he might be in a little bit tough here. We do see a Shadow Demon TP and now a Nyx Assassin TP go down. Here comes the deny that we had just mentioned.
It's like they heard me.
Yeah, they heard us. As Magnus goes in there, there's the skewer. He's disrupted during his skewer there.
Don't see that off. And look at this meteor call down, RP call down, all sorts of alts happening here. And it looks like 9Hands and Team Sand trading killing blows 1-for-1. Juggernaut in pursuit of Bane. And now it's Queen of Pain taking down that Nyx Assassin. But it ain't over yet, folks. Nightmare on Juggernaut. Juggernaut in a little bit of trouble. There's a homing missile casted on Juggernaut. Juggernaut is out of mana. Gyrocopter with an advantage here. Possibly might be able to pick off Juggernaut. He will get away, though. And Bane making his way back to base.
Yeah, no mana up there as well on the Gyrocopter. Also important to note, no Rocket Barrage and whatnot at his disposal. The Queen of Pain managed to make it out very easy, and look at that, picking up that regen right when she needs it.
So nice.
And that's one thing that makes Rune Control. One reason why it's so good is for reasons like we just see.
Just like that.
Yeah, and it's certainly a crazy type team fight there, back and forth on both sides. You are correct.
Yeah, it's definitely going tit for tat. We're looking at 16-13 this match, and we're actually at the 21-minute mark of this match, and it shows no signs of ending anytime soon, because really this is a very close match, one of the closer ones that I think we've seen this tournament.
For sure, and we see, as we saw there in that last fight, the Magnus as well with he was disrupted while being skewered, just turned around, reverse polarity.
That was pretty cool.
And even that RP still managed to hit, I think, 2 or 3. So it was still effective, and that's what helped Team Sand kind of gain that ground in that fight there.
Absolutely. We just had a Sentry Ward being dropped, so now we see Shadow Demon counter warding the Radiant side. So that's a pretty big play right there. Sorry, the Dire side. Now we have Evoker, Shadow Demon, and Nyx smoking up and cannot be seen. So I'm wondering, it looks like they're going to be making their way up to that top lane area, possibly hoping to catch Ogre Magi and Gyrocopter overextending themselves. And yes, here we go. Yeah. They're making their way. And it is a smoke gank in the works, but I don't know, being so close to that tower, biding their time. There's Nyx popping his ult. Impale, Carapace coming down. Look at this, Invoker though with the Sunstrike and Meteor. Oh my gosh, that takes down the Gyrocopter, no problem. And now it's Queen of Pain taking quite a bit of damage. Not enough to take her down, but I'd say that was a pretty successful.
Yeah, Nyx coming out of that, and again, why he's good. Comes out of that Vendetta with that bonus damage, picks them both up in the Impale, and it was just Meteor, Sunstrike. that's all she wrote. There was a disruption there on the Ogre Magi, but still, man, that was good.
Sick.
Yeah, that was good.
Pretty good. When you get a 2-for-1 Impale, that's always sweet. You get the one hero, it's always good, of course, but getting 2-for-1, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And tower going down for the Radiant side right now, so definitely a little bit of some more gold for them. And of course, we haven't talked much about him actually for about nearly 10 minutes. This Juggernaut still farming away, 109 last hits with a Diffusal Blade and over 1,300 gold now.
Yeah,
so.
Go and take down that tower. Just to look at the gold graph over here. When you take a look at the advantage, that's what the early towers does for you. The advantage going to Team Sand, but with those towers said, look, the advantage is now under 500 gold for Team Sand. 9Hands really reeling it in, trying to keep things even. Even on the XP graph, almost dead even. This game is still wide open, with the exception of a couple kills and on this advantage for Team Sand. and a bit of map control advantage for 9Hands. We're all even up here.
Absolutely all evened up here, and we have Gyrocopter. Very key point in this match is when he gets that BKB, because that's going to give him that versatility and being able to have more of a presence in those team fights when he has the call down and the rocket barrage and all of the fun stuff that he has to offer.
Yeah, and BKB obviously being able to dodge out a lot of those spells, and he won't have to worry about being stunned or attacked out of a Vendetta by Nyx, or have to worry about being Omni-Slashed or being targeted by an Omni-Slash or something like that. So certainly a viable item there.
Alright, look at this. We have all sorts of heroes coming in. Lone Druid clearly overextending himself in all sorts of trouble. Fiend's Grips casted on him. There's Rocket Barrage. Scream of Pain by Queen of Pain. And Lone Druid just getting nuked. I think it might have been a little overkill with that Sonic Wave by Queen of Pain, but nonetheless, Lone Druid being taken out of that.
And I think that right there demonstrates the crowd control that Bane provides.
Yes.
Puts the bear to sleep. Fiend grips the Lone Druid. His whole team TP's in, and they're off to the races. That's an easy kill for Team Sand. And now they smoke up here. Smoke up running through their own jungle, looking to catch this mid lane by surprise.
Off to the races indeed, and they are racing to defend that mid tower that's being attacked by Invoker, and Invoker just got that last hit. Man, that's a tough break for Queen of Pain. She had a chance to deny that tower, but no luck.
Yeah, a bit of a tough break. Looked like she really wanted that denied, but just missed that right click by a little bit as they smoke up again. As the smoke is still on the Bane and the Ogre Magi, pardon me. And it looks like they're going to make some sort of cut through around the Roshan pit area, maybe make their way to the bottom lane. They do have the ward, so they do see the Juggernaut going to clean up that garbage down in the bot lane.
Yeah, lots of garbage indeed. That's a lot of farm, but look at this. Nice awareness by Juggernaut. He is backing off the entire Sand team down here, ready to tango with anybody that wants to get in their faces. And with those creeps extended as far as they are, I think they're going to use this as an opportunity to go for that Tier 2 tower.
Yeah, and with that ward vision, that's what you get. I mean,
Huge.
they do have the ward vision. They're able to see. They got it in their own jungle, so they see them coming. They all back up the tower. All good.
It's what wins you games, like we're looking at these, the map vision that you have for both teams. I mean, it's critical, and it's those little differences that make those little plays that make the biggest differences. So with that said, we have Gyrocopter finally now with that BKB, the Black King bar, and as you said a moment ago, that kind of helps him, quite a bit with that, missing that Omni-Slash that Juggernaut can cast, and just basically any spells, like that 9H can put against him.
You notice with the Gyro, he does have the cleave damage, and he is bloodlusted. So we did mention it was actually you who mentioned both those things off the top, saying, both those, especially with the Flat Cannon Gyro, he can flash from within seconds. I mean, obviously, higher attack speed, slightly higher move speed, so you're able to just farm that wave, and now they're right back at attacking it. That tower, Glyph is popped.
There's a Glyph of fortification being popped by Team 9Hands, and there's not much they can really do against this onslaught except pull their own onslaught on this top tower that they are going for now, with being spearheaded there by that Lone Druid, who is just chilling, keeping his distance now. I think he's learned his lesson from that previous engagement earlier. So
that he has, just trying his best to push that top lane, but it will not be a bottom 4 top tower trade. And now we have Team Sand backing out. They're making their way. They're probably going to group up mid, maybe some sort of push, another type push. I mean, taking those towers, certainly key.
Yeah, definitely key. And look at this, 9Hands. They are pulling their weight together now. That Vendetta casted on Neek's Assassin. He's looking for an opportunity to catch one of Sand's heroes out of position. So it's kind of interesting, how one team has an aggressive stance and then they kind of back off. We see Sand kind of backing off a little bit, which is giving 9Hands a more of an advantage positional play right now.
And you take a look at the overall net worth. I mean, the Gyro and the Queen of Pain both pulling their weight up against. I mean, that combined with the Invoker and the Jugger on the other side. I mean, the top two are looking a little bit better for Team Sand here than the top two are looking for 9Hands. I mean, we'll see what Invoker can do. He has made some very clutch plays for them. But, I mean, the Lone Druid definitely lacking. The Juggernaut, perhaps some more CS should be up on him. I mean, but at this stage in the game, it looks like it's very much just team fight versus team fight Dota. And I mean, the team that wins gets to push. I think that's the phase that we're at in this mid-game section here.
It's a really interesting choice of item here. We have the Diffusal and Juggernaut.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's going to be going for that BKB next. So we'll just wait and see. But look at this. Nice smoke from Team Sand. I thought they were going to be going for that Roshan at first, but it doesn't seem to be the case. It looks like they have their eyes. They're splitting up right now. And look at this. All sorts of trouble right now for Juggernaut. Scythe of Vice morphing Juggernaut. Will he be able to get out of there? There's a homing missile going down. Look at the call. The Meteor Strike by that Invoker. Disruption casted on Invoker. He'll live. Call down though. All sorts of trouble. Nice save there. However, Neeks and Juggernaut, they have been taken down. And this is the kind of opportunity I think Team Sand has been waiting for. I think they're in a position now to push.
It was a great engagement for them there, and I mean the Nyx Assassin did go down partially because the Sonic Wave of the Queen of Pain did catch him while he was in this. Overall, great AOE, great team fight. You had the call down, you had the Sonic Wave. I mean Bane was able to put Invoker to sleep, and also Fiend's Grip. I think it was not Shadow Demon. It might have been Invoker before he was put to sleep. Pardon me, but I mean, still having that AOE and that control, it's that's what allows them to win the team fight. That's what gives them that edge, you know, being able to kind of do that AOE damage. Invoker can only do so much here. Invoker trying his best to bring the meteors down. Yeah, he's you know, using the Cyclone best he can, but I mean, at this point, it's not viable for them. And they need a better team fight of him. As we see the Nyx just run past this Queen of Pain.
This Queen of Pain is becoming a real pain now with that Scythe of Vice. That's such a huge item. Such a huge item, and we just saw, like, you know, Juggernaut falling by the wayside there. And look at this, Nyx Assassin coming in, Vendetta Strike blinking out of there. Nice reflexes.
Yeah, great reaction.
That was a great reaction time by Queen of Pain, giving that Nyx Assassin no time to cast his Impale. That was pretty sweet, actually. That was fast. Smoke now up on Invoker, Nyx, and Juggernaut. We'll see if they're going to do anything with that Shadow Demon, not too far behind. And
smoked up.
I think this is a pretty wise decision by 9Hands' part because of the fact that clearly momentum is starting to swing. So I think they're looking for a good chance right now to gank and win a key team fight. But look at this, Smoke versus Smoke.
Yeah, Smoke
both are going against each other.
Here's the
Cyclone on Gyrocopter, call down there, ult on Nyx Assassin with that Sunstrike as well. Juggernaut casting his Omni Slash, Skewer casted on that Bear, Meteor Strike brought down, the BKB is going to save Gyrocopter. Huge play right there. Bear's almost down. Lone Druid will be taken down. That's basically almost a team wipe. Triple kill for Gyrocopter. Huge, huge team fight going for Team Sand.
Yeah, and you know, the three-man RP into the call down already. That's just so much damage there. Like I said earlier, Invoke can only do so much, and at that point there, you had the Fiend's Grip. You take that Fiend's Grip, you know, you use it on a suitable hero. They're out of the game. Great team fight going the way of Sand.
Yeah, huge. And if this keeps up, we could quite possibly see a rematch of Saito and Team Sand by the way things are looking right now, but it is still anybody's match. And really, I gotta tell you guys, like, we've been at this tournament all day now, and this game is going the distance, folks. We're looking at 33 minutes into this match.
I believe that's one of the longest we've had so far. Yeah, a lot of games ending early. Certainly some back and forth, some tight play by both teams. Also, I mean, some not so tight play, but that's why it's Dota, right? It's a team game, and you got to work well as a team. And both teams here have shown some resiliency, and also sometimes, you know, maybe a bit of a breakdown. Maybe things aren't as coordinated as they like to. You know, early game with the stacking and with the stuns and things like that. But and now we're kind of seeing this all come out here. Team 9Hands really has to try to turn this around. I mean, the momentum is certainly shifting away from them. Let's see if they can bring it back maybe in that next team fight. Looks like they're looking for five-man Dota right now.
And just noting a gem on Invoker too. That's kind of an interesting pick. And also an Aghanim Scepter. And interesting choice of items here for Nyx Assassin. He's gone by the way of support more than, as you mentioned in the beginning of this match, that, you know, that Dagon. We're not seeing that kind of item build here with the Nyx Assassin, so it's kind of an interesting choice how you went for Mech and Mana Boots instead of the Dagon.
Yeah, picking up that mech, obviously an unorthodox pickup on the Nyx Assassin, but I think at this point maybe it's because they feel, especially someone like Ogre Magi isn't going to be alone very often, or even that burst damage. Unless you open with that stun from the Vendetta, you're not really going to get the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain can easily just dash out there. Magnus will make you pay close range. So I suppose at this point maybe they're looking for just like a team fight oriented squad or item build rather than just looking to kind of pick off small supports.
Very well said. And it looks like they're going to be taking this time now. Sand is going to go for that Roshan, and
yeah, no ward up there. Yeah, no ward up there by 9Hands, so they have no idea about this. Perhaps they have a suspicion.
Sunstrike though.
Yeah, perhaps.
Just cast.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They know the jig is up.
They know now. But I mean that extra time. It looks like, I mean, with the Sunstrike being cast.
Oh, nice. They smoke. Tornado of Death comes in. It's going to be missed by Invoker. That was an interesting play right there. Talking about playing it safe, eh? Like, they knew, too. Like, Sunstrike's coming, so they were thinking, like, okay.
Yeah,
you know, maybe they're on their way. And look at this. They're committed.
Yeah, wow. Certainly, that was actually more of a clutch play, because now here comes the other Sunstrike. Looking, and now they see the 9Hand sees that they're in Roshan, but it is too late.
They can't do anything.
When he brought that Cyclone in, and they did a smoke up, and they all dodged that Cyclone, that was impressive. That was mighty impressive. That was a great clutch play by Team Sand, because now look at this point. Now they have Roshan. They did it without losing anybody, uncontested, and they did so because A, no warding going up there by 9Hands, and B, that strategic play allowed them to kind of pretend that they weren't there, even though they actually were just waiting beside in the wings. I think the smoke was there just because they thought there was an encounter to come in. If they were going to come in to try and take Roshan, they would attack from the high ground. Yeah. But I think it worked out well, very well for Team Sand.
And you know, I see right now Lone Druid, this bear with the Maelstrom going for the Mjolnir pretty soon. So that's actually, you know, if they let this game continue on, 9Hands is totally still in this, I think. Still a formidable force, you know. I'm just thinking, though, that this Nyx Assassin, you know, you might want to transition in strategy and, you know, maybe start to think of different items you can go for. And also this Juggernaut, you know, with that BKB that he's close to having about 1,000 gold away from it now. You know, it's still one of those games. It's still an even tilt.
Yeah, he is close to his BKB, but I think the key here is that he doesn't have it quite yet. And I mean, farming isn't exactly the safest for Juggernaut. I mean, just standing in base, not a whole lot he can do. Goes out to farm. I mean, he's probably going to take some hits. Maybe he gets ganked. Who knows? At this point, though, it's clear that the farm on Juggernaut is behind. And Lone Druid, you're right. Lone Druid, the bear, does have a lot of items on him. That's why he's a hard carry, and he does have the 6 slots. That said, Lone Druid needs a lot of time before he truly comes online. And unfortunately, right now, sitting at 139 CS at about 40 minutes, that's not going to cut it.
No, I don't know if it is going to cut it indeed. We have that Tier 2 tower up top right now going for Team Sand. Gyrocopter will be picking up even more gold now. All systems go, it seems. Really, I mean, he's got the MKB now. He's got Shadowblade, 2,000 gold, and Aegis and a gem. That
MKB is certainly crucial. Look at his flash farm potential. I mean, his damage output right now is just crazy. 98 plus 215. You know, you don't really have to be good at math to know that that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage, you know.
It's a lot of damage indeed, and Gyrocopter getting another tower. A lot of damage, a lot of gold. Yeah. What do you do?
And he's able to just push very easily, and now they just run 5-man Dota all together, being bloodlusted every chance he gets by the Ogre Magi, who's been playing a half-decent support at this point, and now they're knocking on the door. There's the 3 times multicast on that bear. Tornado goes out, and there's the EMP, not going to catch anyone.
Not going to catch anyone. It looks like they are looking to push, though, for that Tier 3 tower of the Rax. Team Sand in a very good position right now to take full control of this game. DD Rune opened up on Queen of Pain, and they're just looking right now for one of these 9-hand players to overextend themselves and push out too far. And look at this, a Meteor Strike there by Invoker.
But BKB is popped there by the gyro.
Can't do too much against it, and that bear going back and forth. Multicast skill shot there by Ogre Magi. He's going to pick up a bear kill. Very nicely played right there.
Yeah, I think that was his third stun on the bear. Was that a 2 times or 3 times?
3 times.
Wow, I think that's three times stuns, all 3 casted back to back to back as the disruption goes up now here on the Queen of Pain. She's going to blink on out of there. Here comes the call down. Magnus he's strolling on by. Nyx is going to have to back up. ENP, Gyrocopter, very low. He's going to have to Shadow Blade. Getting caught in that bramble there. Juggernaut's going to back up. He's going to go down. Nyx Assassin going down. The Aegis is going to bring back Gyrocopter. What does he care? Shadow Demon, he's low. Invoker still in the thick of things. As we see the Queen of Pain blink out, Gyrocopter, like I mentioned, back up from the Aegis. He's going to be Bloodlust in times 2 multicast.
Oh, is that bear going down? Oh, it's still alive. Disruption casted on that lone druid to save him. Meteor Strike coming down. And, you know, for all their might and damage, 9Hands is really holding their own, though. That tower refusing to go down, and Gyrocopter getting a couple of hits there, but thinks better of it, and he's backing off.
Yeah, and successful defense for 9Hands there, but unfortunately, as the Sunstrike comes in! Wow, Sunstrike cutting me off.
Oh my god, and there's the Gem of True Sight right there. And they know it too. Nyx Assassin pointing that out right there. That was sick, man.
That was a nice Sunstrike. This Invoker, he's got some Sunstrike skills.
That's what they need, though, eh?
Yeah.
Like, it was a solid defense by 9Hands. They're not giving up on this whatsoever. You know, when you have plays like that, that's what brings you back into Dota games. And taking down the strongest player for Team Sand, that's telling to me. Like, they're not going to give up just yet.
For sure, it certainly was a successful defense, and I'm sure that Sunstrike builds a lot of momentum. I mean, they took down Gyro twice technically. Then
that's a boost.
In that, yeah,
that's a morale booster right there.
Yeah, man, that certainly was well done by the Invoker.
I feel lifted up by that.
Yeah, and I'm sure 9Hands isn't quite out of it. They are not quite out of it just yet, and I think that's been the theme of this game, really, is that it really has just been back and forth by both teams here. And even though Team Sand does have momentum, 9Hands not far out of it. Their Invoker keeping them in it. I mean, just taking a look at the... I mean, he can almost match Gyro stride for stride. 10-3-6 to Gyro's 11-6-8. I mean, we do see which one has more farm, but Invoker does have the ulti orb up, does have the Aghanims up, 3,600 in the bank. I mean, he's good to go.
He is good to go, and it's 41 minutes now, almost 42 minutes into this match, and we're getting to the point now where, you know, in terms of items, both teams are in a position where they're almost, it's pretty close, you know, I would say. Let's take a look at our XP chart.
Yeah, that is the Sand advantage, and you can see right when it started snowballing that graph there, a slight jab back in the other,
right there,
in that other direction. I mean, and taking a look at the gold graph as well. 7,500 is a large difference, but they have flatlined it. They have been able to slow it up just a little bit. I think right here it's a case of 9Hands needs to really pick their spots here, but unfortunately, being forced to turtle in their own base, losing that map control is a little difficult.
And a very key item by Juggernaut, just picking up that BKB, and look at this, a Meteor on Invoker, Queen of Pain casting that BKB on her. Omni Slash. There we go. There is the Juggernaut. He's got the BKB. Now it's Sand in a little bit of trouble. Bane going down. Also Magnus going down. Juggernaut and Lone Druid are going down. It looks like right now this game has almost equalized itself.
Well,
they're going tit for tat like they did earlier, and now 9Hands. I'm getting the impression this could start to turn for 9Hands. Still
hopping back and forth there. The key, Magnus was still able to get his RP off, and I think if you're 9Hands, you can't let that happen. You have to find any way to... And they almost burst down that Queen of Pain. They did bring that Meteor down.
So close.
Yeah, they did deal a lot of damage to her before she was able to BKB, but when she was able to BKB and blink, she was okay. She managed to live through the fight. I mean, just not exactly what 9Hands wants, but that RP is really what turned things around to secure that kill on the Jug, secure that kill on the Lone Druid. So, certainly punishing them still even into the late game.
Yeah, definitely still in the late game. And talking about late games, folks, this is 44 minutes into this match. What a great match.
Yeah, this has been a solid losers bracket final.
Yeah, like this is what finals are all about, though, and really the winner of this match is very deserving to see themselves in the grand finals.
Yeah.
For that wonderful $350 cash prize.
Yeah, cash prize. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet prize. I mean, play some Dota, do well, earn yourself some money. And this is the Missing Mid tournament hosted by eSports Canada. We're in Toronto, Canada, and we're here casting the losers bracket final here. We have 9Hands against Team Sand. Right now, both teams kind of turtling in their own bases.
I know, it's like, what do you do? You know, both teams are kind of in a position like, you know, it was just about 10 minutes ago that Team Sand looked to have their hands around 9Hands' throat, it seems. And it really seems like that confidence and poise that they were demonstrating earlier is seemed to have tapered off a little bit. And now, even as I say that, though, they do have a smoke gank going up. And look at this, Neek's Assassin has that Vendetta going for him, and that will expose the EMP being dropped there by the Invoker. Also, the Scythe on the Gyrocopter, and there's another Meteor that will be hit. It's going to miss everybody, though. Not much else to be said about that, kind of negating that smoke gank. But still, Magnus and Bane, they're still smoked up.
Yeah, Queen of Pain, important note, was invisible there, and the Roshan is going up very, very soon. I think 9Hands done a great job defending, just considering that Team Sand did have the Roshan advantage.
Absolutely, they did have that advantage. But look at this, another smoke gank. It is smoke gank for smoke gank, it seems. You know, like now it's 9Hands, and this is a very interesting opportunity right now for 9Hands. They are smoked up, and they know that right now Sand is on Roshan, taking away the wards. EMP going down, that will hit. RP casted by Magnus. However, Disruption casted on him. There's a Sonic Wave by Queen of Pain. All sorts of action. Omni Slash by Juggernaut. Big trouble right now for Sand, though. And, however, Neeks, Bane, Lone Druid being taken out of that fight. And kind of a tit for tat, but wait a second, it's not over. Rocket Barrage on Invoker. Invoker will be taken down by that Shockwave. Gem of True Sight being dropped in the process. And look at this, the Chase Juggernaut being taken down. That's a mega double kill for Queen of Pain. Big team fight going for Team Sand there.
That's going to bait out the instant buyback by Invoker. Looks like Gyrocopter considering taking the Roshan, but it looks like instead they're going to want to push these mid racks. This could be the falling of racks. I mean, only Invoker and Shadow Demon left to defend. The mid and bot lanes pushed out for Team Sand, and at this point, I mean, Team Sand, they are fairly weak, but I mean, if they move together, it is a 4v3 at this point. It is a 4v3.
But it doesn't look like they're going to be doing too much more in terms of pushing. And it's actually Invoker who's on the hunt right now with a very aggressive play. Scythe of Vice casted on Queen of Pain. And look at this, a Meteor and Yule's Scepter casted on Magnus. Magnus, nice skewer to get out of there. Won't be enough, though. He'll be taken out of that fight. And also
the Queen of Pain.
Queen of Pain as well. That's a very interesting turn of events, actually.
Yeah.
At this stage of the game, you have to wonder, Sand may have one of those two kills back, because that kind of takes away your momentum that you just had from the moment ago.
Looks like a little bit of confidence, maybe some overconfidence, you might say, by Team Sand there.
I think it's the Invoker.
Yeah,
he's got those Sunstrikes. He's got a pair right now, and he's not afraid to like step up, man up, and you know, take it to Sand.
The Invoker did very, very well. I mean, looking at the Queen of Pain and the Magnus both in the opposing jungle, both that far in. I mean, at that point, you know. Perhaps it is an overextension.
And just one thing, I just got to give a shout out to one of our fans, one of our viewers, Iruka Ninja. I love this. I'm going to keep this in my Dota vocabulary. The Tormato, which is a Yule's Scepter and Meteor strike by Invoker. If I ever see that again, it's the Tormato. I love it. Absolutely awesome. And look at this, 9Hands now going for that Roshan. This is huge, absolutely huge. We are seeing a turn of events taking place. The score really 30-21. Kill ratio is pretty close. We're just reaching the 48-minute, just past the 48-minute mark of our match. But yeah, it's the Tornado. It's all about the Tornado right now.
The Tornado. Great pickup there by 9Hands, cleaning up that Roshan, getting the Aegis to Lone Druid, and that's going to keep Team Sand a little more apprehensive right now. They're certainly taking this game back, and they're not going to back down. Sand is put on the pressure. They are up by 9 kills. They do have map control, but on the inverse, Lone Druid does have the Aegis. They do have that extra gold and XP now, a little bit of a boost.
And Assault Cuirass also on the on the Lone Druid's Bear, so
for that extra tanky,
yeah. So this is really interesting. Oh, look at that, another triple cast skill shot by Ogre Magi on that Bear, but with the Assault Cuirass though, I mean, that's so beneficial. Jeez, man. But look at this. Team Sand, they don't want to stop pressing now, and I kind of see the logic behind this, but this is a key point in the match. If you're going to win a team fight, now's the time. You cannot make any mistakes, because right now, if they do, 9Hands is really going to make them pay. And look at this. Scythe of Ice casted on the Queen of Pain. Sunstrike and Call Down being made. BKB being popped by Queen of Pain. And the only casualty there is Lone Druid's Bear, which was taken out, and he's going to have to wait another 5 seconds before he can summon the next one. But really, Sand is probably really starting to second guess themselves, I think, in terms of like what they can and cannot do, especially now, that Aegis on that Lone Druid. I mean, and really, it makes sense now. If they're going to back off, now's the time to farm. And Queen of Pain sitting on quite a bit of gold right there, 3,400 gold. 285 last hits, I guess, to be expected now that we're 50 minutes into this match. Great Dota.
Yeah, and at that point there, it looks like perhaps Team Sand was a little bit humbled. Maybe they a little bit intimidated, so they backed on up out of there. I guess, I mean, in a scenario like that, especially getting that initial Team 9Hands, they didn't give up anything. There were no deaths on either side, but they damaged the Queen of Pain, damaged that source of that AoE DPS, and at this point, Queen of Pain is going to drop off. You're into that later game, she's not going to be as efficient. Her nukes still deal the same amount of damage, but at this point, I mean, right now it's the Gyro versus the Invoker. I think that's the matchup to watch for. There is Invoker's been working magic in this game, but Gyro, inversely, you see he does have plenty of farm. We did mention the MKB deals a lot of damage, and now he's got his Manta up. And so, with 4,300 gold sitting in the bank, so I mean that is certainly a scary sight.
He's
certainly
rich.
a scary. Yeah, I mean you look down the lane at the Gyrocopter. I mean, if I'm Team 9Hands, I'm shaking my boots just a little bit.
Shaking my boots, but at the same time, Invoker, that man can hustle. That hero can move real quick. He's got boots of travel now. And he's got great survivability. Yule's Scepter. He's got that gem.
Yeah.
He's got that Scythe of Ice, and of course the Drum of Endurance. So, he can hustle and bustle, and I think you're absolutely right. That Gyrocopter and Invoker, that's what it's going to come down to. But hold on, let's not forget about this Juggernaut. He's still in there. I'm a little surprised, though, like he's kind of tapered off a little bit in terms of his farm. He hasn't done too much more in terms of items since that BKB came up for him. Only picking up really a point booster. So with that said, here we go. Sand making their way down to that top lane. Trying to break it, try to get through one of these lanes, but look at this though, like 9Hands knows. They know they have an advantage if they stay in their base. There's a Tornado of Death EMP being dropped. Queen of Pain just got out of there in time. That EMP will be missed. A little food for thought, I guess, for Team Sand, knowing that they have a chance maybe to get in there with that EMP being dropped and missing on Queen of Pains. So, but again, though, like they're very cautious. They don't want to overcommit to anything right now. They're just flirting with 9Hands. I think they're wanting 9Hands to come out of their base, because really, if Sand attacks, I really think 9Hands has a clear advantage.
Yeah, well, attacking on the high ground is very difficult to do in all levels of Dota, and at this point here, you got to be careful if you're Team Sand. The Queen of Pain taking all that damage, I think they're looking for the Queen of Pain with that Initiate, as you see some things go down here. There's the 3 times multicast on 4 times multicast on the Bear. Sorry.
Wow.
Now the Sunstrike to the Meteor, that's going to miss. Now there's a BKB disruption. Here comes the call down. The Sonic Wave gonna whiff there. Wow, Battle Fury spinning around there. Bane got the BKB taking in that tower. That's a 3-for-0 going the way of Team Sand. They successfully attacked that high ground. Invoker down for another 75 seconds. Yeesh.
and Lone Druid also being taken down in the process. Glyph of Fortification being dropped. Double kill right there for Gyrocopter, and boy, this is it.
That was a great attack into the high ground here. Now they're going to move over and try and work on this top tier 3 tower, try and work on these racks as well. Here comes the Bear moving in. The BK Beat and the B Fury Juggernaut, he's going to be spinning in.
Yeah, Juggernaut trying to get in there right now, but he has that sight the Vice casted on him. Queen of Pain saying, "Nuh-uh, not today, sir." Takes him down with that Sonic Wave, call down by Gyrocopter. Invoker doing everything that he can. Nice Meteor Strike. He's going to get a nice double kill there.
Yeah.
Magnus and Gyrocopter, and Queen of Pain's in a little bit of trouble, as is Magnus. Gem being dropped there, and Queen of Pain picking it up right there. And look at this, Bane is in a lot of trouble right now, and it's Shadow Demon taking him down, but Queen of Pain with that advantage in the high ground there, taking down the Shadow Demon. So a little bit of tit for tat, but the damage has been done, folks. That mid racks has been taken down, and now they have a gaping hole in their base. 55 minutes into this match, just about.
Yeah, 55 minutes and the first racks is down. How's that for a marathon game, eh?
Talking about a marathon, yeah.
But in all seriousness, solid retaliation by 9Hands. I mean, they did lose that initial fight. They were forced, Lone Druid was forced to buy back, forced to move in there and pick up those kills, and they were able to clean up 3 for another 2. So, I mean, all in all, 9Hands definitely down, losing their racks, not good. But they can take some consolation in the fact that they did win that secondary team fight there, and now we have the.
That's it. You know,
yeah,
it's Sand allowing them to come back. You know, like if you're going to take structures, you have to strategically dissect those structures. You can't just linger around, and that's something that Sand has to think about going into the. If they do win this, when they're going into the finals, that if you're gonna strike, get out of there, because each time they've had an engagement in their base, 9Hands has clearly come back and made them pay.
Yeah, for certainly. I mean, just looking at their last few pushes here, Sand knows they gotta push. They want to win. They have the advantage when it comes to gold and XP, and that's why they've been so aggressive. I think when you look at the past maybe 20 minutes or so, it's just been old school offense versus defense type Dota, attacking into the high ground, and they did get those mid racks. So I mean, I'd say if at this point, if another racks goes down, I think it's going to be too little, too late for 9Hands to try and dig this one out. At this point, though, 9Hands, they can regroup. It looks like they're going to turtle in their base, just try and pick up some farm here. But I think at this point, it's going to be a case of they need to win that defensive team fight as Team Sand pushes into the high ground. I think that's kind of what they're banking on. I think that's what their strategy is here, is kind of defend. If they can win that team fight decisively, defending the high ground, they have a chance for a counter push, maybe getting a racks. Seems unlikely, though.
Definitely seems unlikely, and it's one of those things now I'm actually kind of curious about. Like, as you were talking, I was just looking through the heroes here and their items that they selected. It was kind of interesting to see, like, the choice of items. Like, it was a little unorthodox for Jug to pick up that Diffusal Blade, seeing Neeks going with more of a passive kind of build, more of a support kind of build. You gotta wonder if they went for the usual builds that you see in metagame, that this would be more. 9Hands would be the reverse. We would see 9Hands in the position that Sand is in right now.
Yeah, and it is a team game. Everyone does play their role, but I mean, looking at the Nyx Assassin, yeah, very, very passive. He's essentially in this point, he's being played as a fifth. That's what he's being played as a number 5. I mean, just pick up the mech. The mech, usually gotten by the number 4, but I think at this point he's decisively the 5 here, and even the Juggernaut. I mean, the Juggernaut, 155 CS. It's been an hour. That's not enough farm for Juggernaut.
No, it's not enough farm. It's definitely not enough farm indeed. It is what it is, though. I mean, such as it is, and it looks like right now Sand is waiting for that Roshan to be respawned, and clearly 9Hands knows that Sand is probably Sand is thinking the same thing with that Sunstrike just being cast there by Invokers. So it's still the turtle game that we're seeing right now for 9Hands. They're not going too far to the base, and this is going to really allow Sand to pick up on this Roshan kill. They're just waiting, and there he is.
Yeah, they knew that timing was coming. That Sunstrike going up earlier, there's another Sunstrike here, and now it's going to hit the Ogre Magi, and they do realize Team 9Hands realizes that they're going for another Roshan. This would be the third Roshan of the game so far, one going for either side.
There's no indication, though, that 9Hands wants to have any engagement with this Roshan. I think it mainly has a lot to do with the missing racks there. I think they don't want to go out too far. And Gyrocopter's going to be picking up that Roshan, that Aegis, rather. And I can see now, if you're going to win, this is the time. Like, Sand is going to want to mobilize and make a push, like you said. Like, if one more racks, like this tower right here on the top lane right there, it's ready to go. And even the bottom lane, so, they really do have a choice. But it looks like they're going to be making a push for that top lane now. Yeah. And, yeah, money in the bank right there. You can see it.
Some drawing on that mini-map. And this, you're right. This is going to be the push to try and win. This is going to be that kind of endgame push. 412 and 13 CS on the Gyrocopter. Easily the most farmed of anyone. I mean, next best is the Queen of Pain, and the Queen of Pain's been doing well. Yeah, Gyrocopter does have his boots to travel up. So, I mean, 7,500 gold. Just so much gold. He's going to be definitely ready for a buyback. Crazy amounts of damage.
7,700 gold right now.
Yeah, this is one hard carry Gyrocopter.
It's his game to lose, it seems like right now. Like, look at those creeps. They're just melting down now. Like 426 last hits. If you want to see a farm Gyrocopter, well, you're looking at one right now. And there he goes. Like, he's sitting there right there. And look at this, a Divine Rapier.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's his game to lose. If he dies, though...
Oh my god. Bit of a risky play, but it really looks like Team Sand wants to put an end to this once and for all, especially with Aegis. They truly feel that this is the push. I mean, if Gyro, especially having the Aegis helps, but if he lost that Rapier, man, oh man, would that be just
that would be the ultimate throw.
That would be the ultimate turnaround right there as he pushes down this tower here. His damage output, just crazy amounts here. As we go, here's the RP meteor comes down, the call down doing some damage here. Shadow Demon's going down, Magnus going down. Yeah, it's just too much here. Lone Druid's gone. The Juggernaut about to go down.
Buybacks right now for Lone Druid. Multicast Bloodlust ×4 on this Gyrocopter, and like the Divine Rapier, that's it. It's too much. He just bought that thing with 8,000 gold, and now he's back up to 6,200. I mean, there we go. Queen of Pain actually getting a little bit of damage and harassed by that Lone Druid Invoker. But look at this, Queen of Pain
harassing that Invoker.
Nope, don't think so.
Yeah, he heals himself to keep him alive. That's those top racks down. Looks like they're going right here. Yeah. This should be the game right
61 here. 61 minutes into this match, folks. No GG's been called just yet, but the hats off to this Gyrocopter. He farmed very efficiently. And hats off to 9Hands, really. I mean, we're 61 minutes into this game. I mean, this has been 3 times as longer than we've seen.
Yeah, at this point, I would certainly say hats off to both teams. I mean, they definitely fought down to the very end, and
we got rounds of applause over here where we're casting from. It's one of those games, and we're gonna say GG indeed. And wow, just like to thank all of our viewers for watching this match, and it's not over. This means only one thing. We're moving into the grand finals now, a best of 3 matchup, and it will be a rematch between Team Sand